It's too cold to even say yes. How are we all? It's afternoon, so this is about 14 hours before you see this. It is currently just under 9 degrees, but it feels like 3.6 if I look at the BOM, which is the Bureau of Meteorology. Now I'm standing behind this conifer here, and I want to take you out into my little orchard down there. We've got about 200-300 fruit trees in this section, and you know how I talk about the northwesterlies? Well, these are the southwesterlies or southeasterlies. They're coming through. It's blowing in that direction, which is blowing towards the north, and I don't want to walk out there. I'm avoiding it. It is freezing. Welcome to springtime. Let's have a look at these trees now. We've got olives, figs. The figs haven't taken off yet. A bit slow to take off. I just got to go and see if they're okay. This is an area that we're waterlogged. It's been so wet. We've only just got out here to mow, but we haven't brush cut yet the edges, and you know the weeds are going to grow into the garden beds. Let's start here. Look at this. Yeah, new growth already. They haven't staked them up. They're wobbling around. They have to toughen up, these little olive trees, so they're going to get their stakes eventually. They're too small to worry about at the moment. There's a bit of growth on them. They're about 6 metres apart because I want them to grow short and wide. So I want them to be at least 4 metres round. So these will almost, you know, if I get 2 metres out of this one towards here, it'll reach about here somewhere, comfortably, right? So then I'll give myself about 1 metre in between, and then the other one's here. So they look like they're pretty far apart at the moment, but once they get up there, they're not, they're good. It's down the end. If you haven't seen it, go back in one of our previous, I'll turn this way because of the wind noise. Go back in one of our previous little segments we posted on when we planted these. I can't remember how long ago, it would have been at least 3 months, winter that is. We went down there and we had waterlogged olive trees. They were literally sitting in a pool of water, and I sort of dug a little bit of a moat around them to drain them. And it did work, but with the mulch on top, I'm just hoping they're not sitting in water like they were before. Look at these poor fruit trees. They're only a year old. They've put on double the size already, even with these harshest of conditions. They're doing really well, actually. We'll have a look quickly, but let's go down here first. This is the tree here especially. Look, you can see how wet it is here? Yeah. Nah, I'm not going to step into it, but last time, look for my olive tree planting. I don't know what we named it. We'll find the link for it. We'll put it on at the bottom or the top of this little video, and you'll see what this looked like back then. This was completely waterlogged. All these trees here were completely waterlogged. Look at that. It's even got some growth on it. Well, that tells you it's okay. They're tough trees, the olive trees. If you've got any problems, send us an email, see if I can help you fix your problems. But you know, these are quite young trees. I've got some older ones down the end there. They're doing okay. These are the figs. None of them have taken off yet. These were bare rooted, Fleming's trees. And if you're not sure about your tree, this is all you've got to do. Look at that. See the green underneath there? I'm sure many of you know how to do that already. Just scratch the bark and see if it's green underneath. And if it's not green, just keep working your way back down the stem until you find it where it's green. You hope to find some green, and if it isn't, it's dead. But if there is green and the end of it here isn't, well, you just got to cut it back to where it's green, but not right to the edge of the dead wood. You've got to cut back at least 2 or 3 centimetres past the dead wood back into green growth, and on an angle, obviously, not dead straight across. So that's alive. They're all alive, but they're looking good, the trees, for a year old. This one's alive. There you go. We've got one taken off. They're all going to take off. They're just sooking a little bit. It can happen quite easily to a lot of trees. If you've planted a tree in winter that's just gone by and it still hasn't put on any shoot, like I said, scratch the bark on the outside from the tips and work your way back down if it's not green on the outside, and remember to cut it back. We call that sooking. Basically, it's gone through a transplant shock stage. As long as it's green, don't overwater it. I haven't watered it all here. It just rains and that's it. We've got the mulch on top and that's about it. The irrigation is underneath it all. It has not been turned on since last summer. the rain that we've had lately and the rain that they're predicting, especially in Victoria. I'm not sure about your other states. If you're watching us from anywhere else, look at the forecast and see what it's saying. Go out there and dig a hole in the ground and see how moist it is. You can see it's really wet under the foot here. We don't have to irrigate. And the trees will tell you otherwise. But have a look at that. That's a quince over there. You see how it's wilting over? This is basically because of the high winds that we've had in it. So it's not wilting because of dehydration. It's just wind blown. And it's trying to protect itself. It's causing a lot of damage on the foliage, but look at the fruit. There's fruit all over this plant here, loaded with fruit. Literally every branch has got at least half a dozen quinces on it. A year old, this is its second spring, and we only planted last year. I think it was late August, even early September. That's how late I planted these trees, but I pumped in the grit on them. I really did put a lot of grit on these plants. I reckon probably 2 handfuls on each one. Some people may say that's overkill, but no, they're fine. They're loving it. They're all in flower. We've only got one apple tree there that's still slow to take off, but I can see it's green on top. It's sprouting. And these ones here, here we are, those dwarf ones down there. They're nectarine and peach, I think. Either way, I haven't even had a look at them, whether they're alive or not. Let's go and quickly check them. So we're just doing a quick run through to see if they're alive. These I had to pull out from the dam area because our horse was gnarling on them. Now let's have a look if it's green. Oh, that doesn't look alive. Let's go down here. That doesn't look happy. That doesn't look happy. Have we lost this one? It looks like we have. Yeah, it's dead. No, it's gone. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Come and have a look at this. Look how wet this is. Look at it. Soaking. It's just mud. That's gone to heaven. Let's go and check this one out. Yeah? We show you all the bumps and bruises here, folks. We're not one of those gardeners on television or whatever you want to call it, a celebrity, that hides all the stuff ups. If we fail, we fail. You know, we're only human. Yeah, look at that, brittle. You can see the colour. I was hoping. They're both gone. I had to dig these out from the dam area where we put olive trees. We haven't been there for a while either to see how those olive trees are going. There's another 10 over there. This is, 400 metres away from where we are now. So we've got little olive growth. That's just mud. It's just drowned. They were okay earlier on, but they've just killed over, had enough. So they're gone. So we've got a space for 2 trees. I've got plenty of trees still in pots over there. So, yeah, I'm not laughing because I killed a couple of trees. I'm laughing because I've got still too many trees to plant. And that cherry tree also came from down there. Let's quickly check it. Sorry, this is taking forever, I know. This is what happens. Wait a second, we've got a cherry, but this is the apricot. Now, as I said earlier about sooking, this was also around with those the dwarf nectarine and peach. We had a cherry, apricot, and I think that was a nectarine as well. Now, look at that, it's just growing now. See all these markings here? That's from the horse. We've since had his teeth filed down. We had the dentist out here, so we cleaned him up so he's not trying to grind his teeth anymore. So that's the damage the horse caused on it, but it's not dead. Swelling. I don't have to scratch a bark on this. You can see the bud swell here. Very late by comparison to all the other apricots. Some of you might be almost ready to pick some of the apricots on the older trees, but this one's okay. And that also got hit by the brush cutter. So this one's really copped a beating, huh? From the horse, from the brush cutter at the bottom. So we taped that up. We put a bit of peat moss on it, or even soil, so we don't lose the sap flow. And it's alive. I haven't even staked it up. Yeah, I'm punishing my trees. I can hear you saying that. And the poor cherry tree. Also transplanted very, very late and destroyed here by the horse. It's got some fruit, a lot of bark missing. All this has got to get cut back. So yeah, I'll let it take off. I might cut it back in the next week or 2 when I get out here and do a bit of pruning, because there's a little bit of growth on these trees that need to be cut out. Keep them down. Don't want them too tall, unless you want it for shade. If you want to check out what we have, folks, on our website, it's vasilisgarden.com. The team just told me to drag it out a little bit longer while we had our specials, because some of you weren't able to go online, have been leaving your phone numbers for us to call you back so we can help you through the whole processing. So for those who've missed out, check out what we have on special. The buy one get one free is going to be dragged out for the extra day. They don't want to turn it offline because they've got to put the orders through. So whoever's missed out, check it out, vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasily. I am freezing out here. Maresi.